Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Rock Gamer. And with Rock Band VR coming out today, we're starting to get some reviews for Rock Band VR for PC. So I was expecting the reviews to be pretty dismal to say the least, and I have to say that I'm surprised by the reviews that have come in. So PCWorld.com gave it a 4 out of 5, and let's summarize what they actually said. They sort of criticized the game's safe soundtrack, as they implied in their review, and they said the freestyle mode might not hold your attention for as long as Harmonix hopes. They said it's an excellent use of Oculus's tech, though, both as a simulated stage experience and as a use case for touch that doesn't constantly break. Freestyle lacks complexity, and they said sure it nails that being a rock star feel for a few songs, and then when you're done, classic mode is there to fall back on. They said Rock Band VR is not exactly a must-have, but it's up there at least for people who haven't burned out on classic instrument genre. And they said as long as Harmonix keeps supporting with DLC, I'll probably keep checking back in, snagging a few songs, and putting on a show. Now, the cons with the game, they said, is attaching touch to the actual Rock Band guitar causes weight and balance issues. They said the soundtrack desperately needs fleshing out, and the freestyle isn't as satisfying as nailing a complex set of notes in actual Rock Band. The pros, they said, is in its best moment, it actually makes you feel like you're actually on a stage. There's no issues with Oculus tracking or touch controllers for once, and soundtrack made up of greatest hits from past rhythm games. So on one hand, they liked the soundtrack. On the other hand, they didn't like it. So let's look at some of the other reviews. So we also have a review from uploadvr.com. They gave the game a 7 out of 10. They said Rock Band VR rocking out like never before. So the positives they identified were that it really feels like you're part of the band. They liked the set list and they felt it was varied, and they said the new VR mode is a thrill to master. Some of the negatives they said is the story mode feels shallow, classic mode is an afterthought, and lack of multiplayer. So in summary, their review basically said that Rock Band VR is the biggest evolution the franchise has ever seen. The inclusion of the keyboard in Rock Band 3 was interesting in bringing a full complement of plastic instruments to living rooms around the world. With the original was revolutionary for a generation, but now this latest entry truly makes you feel like a rock star of your very own group. They said the classic mode is merely a shell of its former self, but the new VR features establish a more immersive way of playing the game than ever before. It's lacking in a few areas, but the core of it is all too fun to ignore. And let's go to one last review. So the Verge.com also did a review. They said Rock Band VR is a fresh, messy take on an old formula. So they didn't, I guess they don't really give star ratings to their games. It's more of a review you have to read and then make your own conclusions. They said, while I'd love to see Rock Band VR made more accessible, it feels like the kind of project that could only be made for VR and not for the usual reasons. Most of the game would translate just fine onto a flat screen, barring a few motion control mechanics. But virtual reality is a great place for Harmonix to try new weird mechanics in a low-risk environment. The Oculus Rift platform has a limited audience that doesn't expect a lot of genre-specific features because VR genres barely exist yet. Rock Band VR is a full-fledged game, but at least for now, it's not bearing the mantle of the entire series. Getting an Oculus Rift might be too much commitment for many Rock Band fans, but I wouldn't be surprised to see its ideas spread beyond VR in the years to come, albeit not without some polish. So if you guys want to read any of those reviews, I've linked to them down below. Let me know your thoughts. Have your opinions about Rock Band VR changed, or is it still pretty much the same? And do any of you guys plan to actually pick it up? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you subscribe for all things related to the Rock Band franchise. Take care.